Like the way my mind works, I need it to be the same thing. So if you go, Bart, floors on Monday, that's easier for me versus Monday you got floors. Next week, Thursday, you have counters, and then it was too crazy.
Too much.
I like that you were talking about, yeah, he had a schedule, is dope, I like that. I never did the chores. Welcome back to a highly useful episode of Careful Boys, where we help you live your life.
Carefully.
Have you ever had a situation where you were dating somebody, or you had an ex-girlfriend or anything, and their friends did not like you?
Always.
Yep. My current one.
What do you mean?
I don't know what happened, but when me and Gio first got together, she was living in a house with a bunch of like newly graduated, single, independent ladies. So think like everyone in their like mid-20s. This person's a chemist, this person's a chef. Like they're all just graduated college, so they're like 2-3 years into their like single lady independence phase. And then the main person that owned the house, her fiance lived there. So I think they inherited the house from the parents, so they're just renting out all the rooms to make income. But it was cool because it felt like a very like Friends, the TV show vibe. You know, everyone's independent and whatever. Me and Gio started dating, so I started sleeping over, and then I ended up moving in. And then when I moved in, I don't know what happened, but it was a string of like the fucking worst luck ever. I broke their washer.
Oh my god.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and then like my ADD was way worse before, so they had like a communal schedule that this guy, like, cause the dude, he was an accountant, so he's very, very organized. Like he will go like, I'll do the Costco run, and then I'll divide up all the whatever, and I'll send it to you guys. You guys just like Venmo me or whatever. So I really appreciated that. So when it comes to taking care of the house, he did the same thing. Monday, Debbie does the floors, Bart does the kitchen counter, whatever. And he made like a whole schedule that's rotating. Every time it hit my shit, I never did it. And they would come back like, oh, how come the floor is so fucked
Bart's
up?
like, I don't know why, it's a string of bad luck.
And then also...
He's like the shitty roommate that didn't clean.
Yeah, I was a shitty roommate. And then...
Well, of course they're not gonna like you.
And then the one time I did the laundry, like one of like Gio's fucking underwear came out of the spin cycle in the dryer and got caught on the motor, and then so the whole dryer started smoking.
Oh.
The one time I touched the AC, the fucking AC overheated.
That's like a comedy show, dude.
And it was crazy because like I think they end up having like a what are those things called? Intervention with her, like yo, you know this dude you're with?
Your boyfriend's fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like everything is fucking exploding. He touches something and it just fucking explodes. And
He does be breaking shit though.
Did you pay to fix everything?
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That's super nice.
After the intervention where they forced him and invoiced him.
Yeah, they're like, excuse me.
But what was cool was I think Jill was like, hey, I think we need to move out of here. So it was cool that she stuck by me because we were still new. And it could have just been, hey, I really like my roommates.
Yeah.
You might just say to just not come by anymore.
Yeah.
But she was like, I think we need to get out of here.
She really loves you, dude.
Yeah. I was like, okay, fine, let's move. So she always had my back, even though I broke everything.
Wait, what were the reasons why you weren't doing the chores?
I think it was like the way my mind works, I need it to be the same thing. So if you go, Bart, floors on Monday, that's easier for me versus Monday you got floors. Next week, Thursday, you have counters, and then it was too crazy.
Yeah.
I need to be like, yo, Monday, what is it? Is it fucking leg day? Okay, I'll hit legs every Monday. But if it's like, yo, shoulders on Monday and then biceps the next Monday, you're like, what the fuck? This is not a fucking split I can follow, dude.
Except if it's fitness, you can for sure follow it.
I like that you were talking about, yeah, he had a schedule, is dope, I like that. I never did the chores.
It was hard to understand.
I don't know why they don't like me. It's like, you never clean.
So funny.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
because he did everything right. Like if I look back at it, like and like
He did what you would probably
like he did a fucking spreadsheet, and I'm like, dude, how clear is this? Like you can tell. Don't schedule something 3 Mondays from now because you're in charge of cleaning the kitchen, you know?
Yeah, right.
So it's like you can see what's coming, but then my dumbass was probably, oh yeah.
I got this.
Yeah, and then I'm just,
I'll do it.
And I just go live in my life, and I come back, and everyone's like, in the couch like, And I'm like, what's going on, guys?
Oh my
They're like,
god.
So in the end, you never won them over. You just moved out.
I just moved out.
So they probably their impression of you is probably still that you're just like an
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah, yeah.
I think so.
Breaks everything.
And me and Joe would also have jam sessions too. So probably during the day when everyone's out at work, me and Joe, I'm playing drums, he's fucking playing the guitar. And then probably when they come home, the neighbor's like, hey, you guys are having like a rock show? During the day, and they're probably like, what do you mean a rock show?
What are you talking about? We're all at work.
And then they're like, who the fuck, yeah,
Who would it be?
who's at home having a fucking rock show?
I remember the neighbor, this old man goes, today is not a holiday. And we're like, I know. It's like Wednesday. They're like, no, it's not the holiday.
Because I think we're jamming out at like 3 p.m. and then the next door neighbor's window, he just opens his old man. Hey, today's not a holiday. And then me and Joe's like, I know it's not. And just close it.
It's a work day. It's right.
It was probably his nap time or something. Trying to take an afternoon nap.
I was like, wait, does he mean that we can come back on like Martin Luther King Day and we can like jam out?
Yeah. Which day can you do?
Labor Day maybe?
He's like, today is not a holiday. I celebrate Martin Luther King.
What is it that you were saying that like every time you're dating someone, their friends don't like you? Are you used to this?
It's like I'm thinking about my exes, but we were in our teens.
Okay.
Most of them were in our teens, and everyone's just partying, and like people were cheating on each other, and there's just like your friends weren't really your friends at that point. And I've always been like this, even when I was a teen. Like I'll say whatever it is. If I don't like you, I don't fucking like you.
Yeah.
I don't care if my boyfriend then has like part of a group that's a girl, and I don't like her. I'll be looking at her at the party like I don't give a shit. So then there's always drama.
Oh, okay. You're always stirring
Back then,
shit.
there's always not me. There's just always shit. But like for the other guys that I've been kind of dating or seeing the last couple of years, it's never really made it to the point where then I see their friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang, that's a very early phase.
I haven't really got to the point where I've been like meeting their friends or anything. But it happens more the other way around. So my friends won't like a lot of the guys. And I'm starting to trust that now because they usually see something that I don't see because I'm so in love or whatever, and I'm only seeing what I want to see, like a tunnel vision.
And then your friends are watching out for you.
Yeah.
I see.
Like back then I'll be like, no, I'll give them excuses.
Yeah.
But now when if my best friend meets them, I was like, oh, like, he was pretty nice. I'll just be careful, go slow. I'm like, okay, yeah.
What about the other way? Like their friends telling them they don't like you.
We don't get to that point.
I see.
It's usually me inviting him over for like a dinner or something, or we go out with my girlfriends first.
I feel like
And it never gets to the point where it goes to him, but then my best friends were like, well, that's a red flag. He doesn't want to introduce you to his friends yet.
Well, yeah, like, I think
It
that
gets to a
is
certain
that's
point where
red
I'm
flag,
like,
yeah.
okay, this is going fucking nowhere. And then we always end it by then. It's always
Yeah.
that 3-month mark.
When you're like the secret thing that he does, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. And it's always 3 months. Always fucking 3 months. This is trial.
girls tend to tell each other straight up, like
Yeah.
where guys would be like, man, she's a fucking bitch, but we have to fucking be a homie and like.
Oh, that's true.
And then guys would just like, he's with her again, but like, he's the homie, let's just deal with it. Let's just fucking deal with it.
Right.
And then like later on, they're just like, well, I guess they're fucking getting married, all right, whatever. Well, he
Yeah, it's
loves her,
true.
man.
Yeah,
He
you
loves
do.
her.
Yeah, you just go with it.
But like, unless it's like severe, like I caught that bitch fucking cheating. I think guys would put up with a lot because it's
funny
like,
too.
fuck, I don't want you to bring her around, but you love her, so like we're down, let's do it.
Or unless the guy's like, for real, like, hey man, what do you honestly think about her? You know what I mean? Like,
If they open it up like that,
if they're the ones that are trying to get your advice,
she's
and
a
like you're also
fucking
gonna.
bitch.
And you just hope they have good mates.
yeah.
That's true.
Like I've been with guys where they don't even like really have a friend, like a real bro. That's a red flag for me now,
Oh,
straight
yeah,
off the
that's-
bat. If they're just like, I don't hang around on my own all the time, I'm like, is it because you can't keep a friend? Are you a liar? Are you I don't know what. There's always just something.
That's
I feel
hard
like at
too,
this age
yeah.
as well, at least over 30 years old, if you're 30 to
should have a
40
friend.
and you don't have a bro at least, that's not actually like your brother, like an actual friend. I don't know, I find that weird.
That is
I find it really
that's weird, and it's dangerous because like even when I was dating girls that didn't have like a group of girls as social life, it's dangerous because you end up taking on more of the burdens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like rather than just enjoying a facet of a person, now you're also the friend. They're gonna be
Because you don't want to talk about horoscopes with her.
And they
I don't want to talk about everything.
Yeah,
Like,
you have
all
to be
the
with
time.
them 24/7. If
Yeah.
you're not, like, where are you? What are you doing? Why aren't you with me or whatever? Like,
You have to
got that
play more
crazy
roles.
shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to talk about
nah.
crystals and horoscopes.
Yeah, no, yeah.
What up, guys? Thank you for watching us for so long. If you like what we do, please support our Patreon. Joe, tell them what we have to offer.
So every week you get 2 videos. One never released director's cut, and another one 2 half for YouTube, Patreon only. Every freaking week you get that, and you get access to our Discord where you can come chat with us.
And ask us questions that become episodes here because we're gonna answer them and we're gonna take it seriously and we wanna give you the responses that you want. So come stay connected with us, join our Patreon, click the description below for full details.
So everybody you dated, their friends always liked you?
No, I don't think so, but most. I think I've always dated girls where their family was cool. Like in general, like there's been times where I like their family more than the girl.
Yeah, especially when you're breaking up. That's the hard part.
Your
to let
mom's
go of.
hot
Yeah.
too.
I know.
I'm just like,
But I do think one of my exes, like, I do think that, you know how when people vent, right? They're like giving all this information out to their group of friends, and then they think you're just all negative because they're just saying negative things.
Right.
And then there's no like follow up to say, hey, we made up this way, right?
Yeah.
So like over time, I felt like her friend group was so nice, and then later like they would give me these looks, and then like I would just be like joking around, engaging in conversation, and I just felt this energy of like they don't like me as much anymore. And I didn't say anything, and I didn't change. But I think that there's that thing going on where they're like telling each other, and then later she'll be like, you know, my friend said they said that we shouldn't be together, this and that. And I'm like, that's because you're probably feeding them the information that they're responding to.
Yeah.
So like
she's painting a picture of you to them.
exactly. So it's like, well, what about all the other things that aren't negative? If you're just always complaining to your girlfriends, they're gonna say, of course, leave them.
Yeah.
Because you're not talking about any of the good things that are happening. So it's like, how would they see me in any other light than what you're saying? So I think from that kind of experience, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to be with a person that shares all of our negative stuff.
You can't.
And then
That's true.
I've only learned that recently too. Like not telling all your problems to your friends, because your friends will always have your back. Like of course.
Yeah.
And then they feed you certain scenarios, and then it gets in your fucking head, and then it's
Right.
a whole nother world now, like
Right,
that you have
yeah.
to deal with.
Yeah.
While the guy's just sitting there like, do you know what the fuck happened?
Yeah, and then
it's always the
before you-
girls, and I know that too.
Yeah.
Like, I have like one best friend, Jasmine. Yeah, like I'll tell her because she's so level-minded. She sided with the guys before too, and I'm like, what the fuck? But it's true. Like that's how I only tell her. I won't tell anyone else. Like I literally keep most shit now like just private.
Yeah.
Except if I really need it, then I'll ask her. Then she's very, very logical.
I feel like good
She's
friends
insane.
are objective with like
Yeah.
your advice,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Of course,
pretty great.
but yeah, and she'll tell me like straight up like, this is your fault. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I remember a really strange effect that happened to me from this particular type of thing, and I only think I experienced this once, but there was just like one point where I think this was like 2009, and I was at like a meet and greet at a dance event, and then this one girl, I just like caught eyes with her. I thought she was really cool. She was this really pretty Mexican girl, and then I thought I wanted to date her. I thought that might be a cool idea. I started inviting her to little things, and we would go out and stuff, or I would do like dance events and invite her so she would just be there, and then I noticed her friends had that look of like warning her, like that I was like, basically that I was like a fuck boy, which I hadn't. This is still like pre that term, but like I could feel the energy of like they didn't want to count me as a real person. Like they're like, oh, it's just temporary. Like he's gonna just do this with some other girl.
You're just jumping around.
And I knew they were doing that. And the funny thing is that made me do that. Is that weird? It made me angry.
Double jeopardy.
It made me upset that I wasn't being accepted as a real possibility, that I could possibly like really date her.
I'm out.
That I was like, okay, fine, then fuck it. I'm not gonna. So then like it made me sort of like disqualify her as a possibility too. So I would invite her to things, but then I changed it to being as a friend. And then she would get like really like hurt and upset about it. And then it got to the point where eventually, it's like this one night, some other girl, I was making out with a different girl on a night that I invited her out. And then she saw it, her friend saw it, and I felt like, yeah, that's what you get. Isn't that weird?
Oh shit.
Because I was so mad.
So you're making out with her, but you're looking out. That's what you get.
It just kind of happened. I just like ran into like a friend that was like really crazy, and then it happened, and then she saw it, and it was at the club and shit, and we were like crying in the
I
parking
think it
lot.
showed you too, like what type of people she's surrounding herself with.
But it's funny that it made me have an animosity of like.
It's funny because you proved them right.
Yeah, you proved them wrong instead
Which
of
is
wrong.
funny that I was like, because I was mad that I was really trying, and they were just like, oh, he's not for real. Then I was like, okay, if that's how you feel like this is gonna go, you know when people accuse you of cheating and you haven't cheated, you're just like, oh well, then fuck it. Why are we even doing this?
Yes.
It was that, and it was always at a very early point. We never got serious at all, but then.
I don't think it could have gotten serious because her friends are too stupid too.
Yeah.
Because even if you got over that hump with that kind of insecurity and judgment, later on it's just every single
her
thing is
friends
gonna be
aren't-
you're gonna be working uphill.
Even at that point,
That's
when that happened, like her best friend or whatever went up to me and was like, asshole, and like walked away, and I was like, yeah, that's you called me that before I did anything. Like that's not, I don't know.
But what? You want to make out too? Come here, baby.
It's crazy because like I didn't, and plus like I didn't know that at the time that I had met her, and this kind of brings more context to the situation. I didn't know that she was with the same dude for like most of her life. They broke up. In that window, she met me, and her friends were not a fan of her not being with that guy. And then as soon as I showed that I was an asshole, and then we stopped seeing each other, she got back with that dude, and they're married with kids today.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it's like I get it. It's like they probably had something very healthy, and then me coming in the middle of it, they just didn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, could have gone around.
I think I
a
fucked
better
with the
way
ecosystem,
than
yeah.
the ecosystem.
But I never felt that before, where I wanted to like fuck up because I was so mad about that.
I remember getting turned off by girls because I met their friends or the type of advice they listen to from their friend or whatever. And I'm like, you're that fucking dumb?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I gotta get away from you and your whole group, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when you're young too, like, you take the stupidest fucking advice from people because you just think they know.
Yeah.
From guys and girls, right? Like, guys
yeah.
would tell you some stupid shit like, yeah, man, like, oh, you got her number? You gotta wait at least 3 days.
Guy-
You can't just call her right away.
And there's some guys that would tell you that a girl's not worth it and she's whack, and then they'll hit her up on the side.
Yeah, because they're manipulating the situation so they can take the girl.
Genius.
That's a total
God.
thing, yeah.
It's so dodgy.
Look how triggered.
I don't like that, dude.
It fucking happens all the time, even now, and like, even the guys I go on dates with, and they're like almost 40, like between 30 to 40 years old, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
And the guy will tell me like, I can't see you, the boys want to go out. I'm like, really? Like, you guys went out last weekend, like, we already planned something. Oh, you know I can't say no.
Because he's on a date.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Well,
Is he really with the boys or is he on a date?
who knows? That's what I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I can't say no to the boys. And then it'll be like 8 a.m. He's like, oh, I'm still up. I'm like, okay, bye. I don't want to talk to you. Let's just be alive together, mate. You're like 35.
Yeah.
I gotta stop dating powerlifters, I think.
He wasn't, he's skinny.
Oh shit, he has no excuse.
Stop dating ice climbers then. I don't know. I just imagine.
I've tried
Those rock
bodybuilders,
climbers.
a bit of everything.
Fuckboy rock climbers, you know?
Same shit.
What about you, perfect Anthony Lee? Have you ever had any
No problems.
any group of friends ever not like you, or were they always
Everyone
just?
loves
Or did all your girlfriends, friends, they all had a crush on you too?
Yeah. And then cause more.
Even the mom. The mom's just like,
Yeah.
Moms do love me, but
Of course they do.
I've definitely been cussed out once by like my ex's friends.
That sounds like a Korean.
That sounds like UCI shit.
It was Korean.
I knew it, see?
Dude, he nails it every
I've
time.
had enough Korean girlfriends to know how the
When I was in high school, it was like one of my first girlfriends ever. We like met her at summer camp. Fuck, amazing, right? We dated for like a month, and then she's like, "Oh, I can only see you as a friend." I'm like, "Oh, whatever makes you happy." I'm like a simp, right?
Yeah.
And then a year later, we're like staffing summer camp, And then like the feelings catch again. We start dating again. 2 months, says the same shit to me, right? I can only see you as a friend. Breaks my heart.
So young.
It's my first time I ever felt like depression or whatever, bro.
Yeah.
You should have pushed her down a hill.
Later on, like first year of college, like the very, very beginning of it, for some reason she used to, I went to UCI, but she used to live in Irvine, like grew up. Ooh. So like we somehow reconnected. And then I don't know if she, for a lack of options, or just suddenly started liking me again. This is like 2 years later.
We're just friends.
No, she like comes over and she like wants to hang out with me and connect. And there's, I don't know if like it's chemistry because I always wanted there to be chemistry, or if it wasn't chemistry but it was like I don't fucking know. But like we were very like you know chummy. But by the end of it, like there was hand holding, movie watching, like whatever. But by the end of it, like I didn't really feel anything. So it was like, all right, cool, like we're good. And then so next thing you know, I get a call and get cussed out by her best friend, who's saying that like if you weren't gonna want to be with her, why'd you lead her on, hold her hand, and do all this stuff? And I was like, oh. And again, I'll take.
You should have been like, you know, she did that to me twice throughout my life.
And
I'll take the blame for it because maybe there was some sort of weird like learning curve for me to just be like, hey, I want to see how this feels, even though I'm not committed to it. You know what I mean? So maybe it was very asshole-ish. I really don't know. But I just remember getting cussed out and being like, what the fuck? Like, yo, like.
Can I ask you a stupid ass question?
You're a bad guy, dude.
Obviously.
Was she a Pisces?
Shut the fuck up.
She might have been a Virgo.
I think she was a Pisces.
Sounds more like a Scorpio thing.
It sounded like she cried to her friend.
Of course.
Like straight up cried
She
to
get
her
mad at you
friend.
for
Like,
being a
really broke
Gemini?
my heart.
Probably.
what a Gemini thing to do.
But I did learn from it. You know what I mean?
What did you learn
You know how to
exactly?
break hearts?
I just feel like
How to ghost?
as weird as it is, it's like there's that intimacy that I won't edge towards that intimacy for a while. I can like more easily get like physical in like a lustful way than like an intimacy like
Okay.
maybe there's a
Yeah, yeah,
chemistry
yeah.
and relationship way, because like fucking with that realm, you need to be fucking sure. Whereas the other
That's
stuff is,
actually a
like,
really good lesson, yeah.
whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Never had to deal with those two scenarios. So, I wouldn't really know. Thanks for giving me some advice.
You must be a Libra.
Man, watch your fucking mouth, dude.